Not having a system hurts no one but me. You cannot believe what happened today. I got a book sponsorship. So this morning I was feeling a bit unwell, you know, but then I got an email from Nanmi book publisher that I've read their books since I was little, and I got an email from their marketing team saying that they want to sponsor the books for our meetings and that they will provide books for all our members. And like, this shoots me to the star. Get invitation to attend a book event at Soho House. I'm still waiting on the details, but that's what we've got so far.จอดตอนไหนมันก็จอดไม่ได้มึงเอาจริงๆนะมึงจะทำวอล์กจริงเหรอ So then my friend come pick me up and we're gonna go get dinner. This is the old town area. So pretty. Try a little bit of everything. The coconut's like a cloud. It's just like the right amount of sweetness. Worth every penny. Whoa.
And then I also did an extra 10 minutes of spring bouquet.
I feel like yesterday's flowers were too much, so I just put them in different places. Hi you guys, I just want to come in here and talk about how I keep track of everything in my life. I have a full-time job. I'm also a freelance Instagram brand model. I also host a book club of about 200 members right now, and then some PR sometimes, so a little bit of content creating there. Who isn't a content creator of some sorts these days? So I have been into like these healthy habits creating for a few years now, and it's only the beginning of this year that I started to feel like, okay, things are falling into places. I just like to come here and share some tips that I find very practical for me and that has been working for me. Of course, I read Atomic Habits, obviously, and I listened to Huberman podcast, obviously. One thing I picked up is that you just focus on the process, and once you get the process right, the goal or like the end goal that you want will come eventually. I mean, of course, like you have to identify that end result, right? But then once you do that, you kind of work it top down, like, okay, this is what you want to do, how are you gonna get there? The more detailed, the better. A list doesn't do it for me, so it has to be something like a table, a graph, some graphics that I can just see, like, okay, this is where I'm gonna go and this is like how it's going to be, stuff like that. Like make it very visual. What is the kind of life that I want to live in the future? Like what kind of houses I want to have, stuff like that. So first thing is the mindset, like, because mindset is everything. Don't be afraid of thinking about the future. Don't be afraid of envisioning the future that you want. It might seem intimidating, of course, but that's because you don't know yet. And humans, we're scared of things that we don't know. Whenever I fear something, it's because I don't know much about it, and so I have lots of assumptions about it that kind of makes me feel intimidated and stops me from going for it. When it comes to organizing their lives, people don't really want to think about what they have to do or where they are, what their situations are at the moment. I feel like being able to accept reality, the situation you're in, your flaws, what's holding you back, your self-sabotaging behaviors basically, is so important, because that way if you identify those problems and then you can fix them. I feel like nowadays people just value multitasking, which kind of makes sense. The more the better, the more you can do at the same time, the better. I mean, personally, I don't think multitasking is ideal, but we have to accept the reality. Even though like you're assigned to just one project, but the tasks underneath that project, you know, so sometimes you have to do things in parallel in order to like save your time, save other people's time, and just get it done ASAP. The good thing I found out is Gantt chart. Well, there are many ways to do it. First thing that I do with the projects at my workplace, I have Gantt chart. So because I'm monitoring many projects and many consultants, so I have to see like, okay, what are the timelines of this project is going to happen, the project cycle of this one, and when should I recruit this consultant to do this, so that we can prepare things beforehand in order to make sure that everything is delivered in time, basically. So basically Gantt chart is, it allows you to see the timeline. You can even say like, okay, this is when you're assigned, how many days you plan to do it, how many days it actually takes. Gives me an ability to stay on top of what I'm doing now and what's about to come, and so I can manage to not struggle. Because you see literally over there, like if you have like 5 or 6 complicated and urgent tasks stacked up, you're in trouble. I was in that position before and I'm not gonna put myself in that position again. Not having a system hurts no one but me. I see a huge change in how I minimize last minute tasks. I feel very much more at peace, because before I had so much stress hormone. I can feel I had too much cortisol. It affects everything. It affects my sleep, and then my poor sleep affected my work. So you know, it's a vicious cycle. So I've tried many ways to organize my tasks, but what I feel like works for me the most is Notion, because it's like a mix of a notebook and visual charts. For example, in my social media content board, but my personal favorite is calendar. And what I love about Notion is that you can set up status for different tasks that you have to do. With the platform online, it's easier because when you have to get your tasks done, it's on the computer anyway, so it's easier to just like have everything all in one. I hope that you will kind of find this portion of the video helpful. Song จ้า